Hello and welcome to MTG Collector's Corner. We've got another episode of What's in the Box. Alright, so we got our mystery box here. It's got one item from my collection. I'm going to open it up and we're going to talk about it, and I'll give you a little history lesson. So let's do it. Today's item is from the vault, Angels. You might recognize this from my first Digging for Treasure video. My lovely fiance kind of fell in love with the From the Vaults, and she wanted me to open one. And so here we are. So the From the Vaults were kind of the precursor to Secret Lairs. They started in 2008, and the first one was From the Vault Dragons. So this was just a couple years after I got back into Magic. They released these. They released one per year. They were 15 cards in each set. So compare that to Secret Lairs, where you get 4 or 5. And the MSRP for the From the Vaults was $39.99. And they were hard to find. You had to get them at your local game store. They were limited quantities. So I was lucky enough to lay my hands on 2 of these. So we're going to open this one today. And so let's dig into it. So they come in this nice little box. From the Vault Angels. On the back it shows all the cards that are inside. 15 foil cards. 5 of them have new art. It has a spin down life counter, which I forgot about, and also a collector's guide inside. So the front opens up and you can see 3 of the cards. We have Acroma, Avacyn, and Iona. So the front just pops open so you can see inside, and then the side opens and the little tray pulls out with the cards inside. So there's 2 reasons I'm going to open this up. First, I have 2 of them, and 2, I recently put together a White Angels Commander deck that I'm kind of excited to put some of these cards in. This is the collector's guide, it looks like. I've only opened one of these before. So this is tells all about the cards that are in the From the Vault, and tells what set they were originally from, and then gives a little blurb about the set that it was from and the design of the card. So this has all 15 on here. Let's see what's on the back. Looks like it's a poster on the back. That is Teriel. He's the red, white, black. He came in the Kalia Commander deck when it first came out. He was the other commander besides Kalia that you could play. So he is let's see. Teriel, Reckoner of Souls, Commander of 2011. So cool little poster. I'll probably read the back of that. That's pretty interesting. So then we have the spin down counter. Which has the From the Vault Angels set symbol for the 20, and then spins down. All right, so here's the 3 packs. Let's start with Avacyn, because that's the card I'm going to put in my Angels deck. So looking at the wiki for this set, looks like it came out in 2015, and MSRP was $34.99. So the first card we have is Avacyn. This was originally printed in Avacyn Restored. That's part of the original Innistrad block. I remember trying to play this in Standard. I believe she was in Standard at the same time as Baneslayer Angel, so you could kind of do some Angel good stuff there. But this one is for sure going in my Angel Commander deck. I have the Secret Lair Angel deck that they made, and so she's going in there. I have a regular version in there now, but we're going to put the shiny version in for now. All right, second card we have is Entreat the Angels. This is not actually an angel creature card, but it does make angels. This was also from Avacyn Restored, and it has the miracle ability where you can, if you were to draw it, you could cast it instead. If it's the first card you draw this turn, you can cast it for this alternate cost, and you get to put angels into play, angel tokens, 4/4 angel tokens into play. So this, I believe this gets played probably in Modern, maybe Legacy. There's a Miracles deck. I'm not sure if it still gets played in that, but it's a pretty good card. The next card we have is Exalted Angel. This was originally printed in Onslaught. You can tell because of the morph cost that I think that might have been the first set with morph. So you were able to play this face down as a 2/2 creature for 3, and then you can flip it over for its morph cost. And it says, flying, whenever Exalted Angel deals damage, you gain that much life, which is somewhat interesting because it's actually lifelink, but it's not lifelink because it doesn't say lifelink. Unless the Oracle text says it's lifelink, you actually get double lifelink with this card. So you get the life, if you give this card lifelink, you'll get the lifelink trigger, but you'll also get its, when it deals damage, you gain that much life trigger. So you could get double lifelink off this card if you have something equipped to it with lifelink, or that gives it lifelink. So this is Iridescent Angel. This was originally printed in Odyssey. It's your basic 4/4 flying, but it has protection from all colors, and it costs 7, so 5, a white, and a blue. It's kind of a mid card, I'd say. Doesn't see much play. It won't go in my deck because my deck is mono white. All right, here is the next card, Janara, Asura of War. This was originally printed in Alara Reborn. It is Bant colors, green, white, blue. It's a 3/3 flyer, and then you can pay 1 and a white and put a +1/+1 counter on it. I don't know if this card saw much play either, but it may be one of the only Bant angels. Could be wrong though. All right, next pack starts with a Chroma. She is one of the, I don't want to say original angels, but she goes way back in Magic's history. There's a lot of different Achroma cards, but this specific creature card was from Legions. She costs the same amount as Avacyn, 5 and 3 white, for 6/6. But she has flying, first strike, vigilance, trample, haste, and protection from black and red. So she has all the keywords, basically. There is a card in, I believe, Time Spiral called Achroma's Memorial, and it gives all your creatures these abilities, which is kind of interesting. Speaking of Achroma, there's another Achroma here. This is the red Achroma. I believe it's from Planar Chaos. So she costs 5 and 3 red, and she says, Achroma, Angel of Fury can't be countered. Flying, trample, protection from white and blue. You can give her fire breathing, which is pay a red and give it +1/+0. And she also has a morph cost. So the Time Spiral block, which was Time Spiral, Planar Chaos, and Future Sight, takes place in kind of an alternate timeline, and they kind of took cards from the past, like some of the history of Magic, and kind of rewrote them. And so this is basically a color shifted version of the original Chroma. So it's basically a red version of the original, which was white. So this card is Archangel of Strife. It was originally printed in the Commander sets in 2011. I believe it came in the Kali deck as well as Tyrael. So she's a 6/6, cost 5 and 2 white, flying. When it enters the battlefield, each player chooses war or peace. Creatures controlled by players who choose war get +3/+0. Creatures controlled by players who choose peace get +3/+0. So it buffs everybody's creatures depending on what they choose. Aurelia, the War Leader. So this card is from the Return to Ravnica block, the second set in that block, Gate Crash. And she is an angel that costs 2 red, and 2 white for 3/4. She has Flying, Vigilance, Haste. Whenever she attacks for the first time, you get an additional combat phase after you untap all your creatures. All right, final card in this pack is Baneslayer Angel. I believe her first printing was Magic 2010, M10. And she dominated Standard for a long time. She was just really good. She probably at one point, I think she was like $70 for one copy. I mean, she's really good. 3 and 2 white for a 5/5. Flying, first strike, lifelink, protection from demons and dragons. I mean, this is probably one of the most efficient angels out there. Yeah, she ruled Standard for quite a long time. I built quite a few decks with her in it. Moving on to the third pack, we have Iona, Shield of Emeria, which I believe she is banned in Commander. She costs 6 and 3 white for a 7/7 flying. And when she enters the battlefield, you choose a color, and your opponents can't cast spells of the chosen color. She first made her appearance in the original Zendikar block. Actually, it was in Zendikar, the set itself. She didn't see much play in Standard, but for sure in Commander, she definitely got played. And yeah, she is not fun to play against, and that's why she's banned in Commander. All right, Lightning Angel. This is kind of one of my favorite angels that's in this set. So it was originally from Apocalypse, and which is part of the Invasion block, which is one of my favorite blocks. She is red, white, and blue, and for 3/4 flying, vigilance, haste. Kind of basic. I don't know her impact on Standard. I wasn't playing like tournaments at that time, but I really love that block. So kind of one of my favorites. There wasn't very many red, white, blue cards around at that time either. That may have been the first set that had red, white, and blue cards. But yeah, from Apocalypse, Lightning Angel. This card we have is Platinum Angel. It's from the original Mirrodin block. It was from the actual Mirrodin set. This is the first card that says that you cannot lose the game. There have been alternate win conditions in the past. Coalition Victory is one just off the top of my head that came before this. But this was the first card that said that you can't lose the game and your opponents can't win the game. So it was it was an alternate you can't lose condition. Mm-hmm. And after you watch this video, go run to gather, look up the Oracle text and see if you can lose by conceding. I'm not sure. This was kind of a rules nightmare for R&D when this card came out. It does see a lot of heavy play in Commander. It's kind of easily removed because it's a 4/4 artifact, but if you can't remove it, then you're sitting on easy street. So Sarah Angel. This is one of the very first angels printed. I mean, it's a classic. 4/4 flying vigilance for 3 and 2 white. She's seen many printings over the years, but she was one of the very first angels ever printed, I believe in alpha, beta even. So she's part of Magic history. She carries the torch for all the angels. Sadly, not good enough for my deck, but she has a place in a lot of vintage decks, I imagine. Final card is Teriel. So like I was saying, this is from the original Commander sets in 2011. This came in the Kalia deck, and this was the alternate commander for that deck. It's a 4/7, cost 4, a white, a black, and a red. Flying vigilance. Tap, choose a creature card at random from target opponent's graveyard, and put that card on the battlefield under your control. It's a pretty powerful effect. This card is not in my deck because my deck is mono white, but this card is really good in the Kalia deck. You can slam it down and get some good stuff from your opponent's graveyards if they still have one. So, all right, that's the final card. I want to point out the cards that have alternate art. All right, so I did mention earlier that there's 15 cards in here. 5 of them have alternate art. And so let's take a look at those. This is Iona has alternate art. Looks very similar to its original art. Akroma has alternate art. The Akroma Angel of Wrath. The other Akroma, Angel of Fury, has alternate art. Iridescent Angel is alternate art. And Exalted Angel is alternate art. So that is the complete set of From the Vault Angels. Like I said at the beginning of the video, it was released in 2015. MSRP was either $34.99 or $39.99, which is crazy. Right now, sealed copies go for about $100, so pretty good return on investment if you ask me. But we're going to put these in my commander deck, which I have right here. This is my commander Giada. This is the deck box that my son printed for me. It has a white mana symbol on each side, Streets of New Capenna symbol on the top, and because Giada's from Streets of New Capenna, she slides out, and my deck slides out here in the mono white sleeves. This is almost a stock secret layer deck. Like I've maybe changed 5 cards in it. It's pretty powerful right out of the box. But I'm just going to change a couple of these cards with the alternate arts, the foil versions, the prettier foil, because I didn't have a foil Avacyn to put in there, so we'll have foil Avacyn in there now instead of the regular one. So I do want to show you something before we end the video. So this is the Avacyn. This is the whole deck here, or whole set of cards. Just after pulling these out, they're already starting to curl. Not only this way as well. I did read that this foiling process was more prone to curling. It is a lot thicker foil than what's on regular foil cards, and then it's like lacquer coated, where like these cards, there's a weight difference, I believe, between just a regular card and this foil version, because the foiling is so heavy and the lacquer coating on there. I'm not sure what makes them curve so bad compared to the others, but I mean, this is just since pulling them out of the package like 10 minutes ago, if that, and they're already curving. So all right, guys, so that was From the Vault Angel set. If you would like to see me open other From the Vaults, let me know in the comments and I'll think about it. I do have a duplicate of From the Vault 20, I believe. The others I don't have duplicates of. I do know that From the Vault Relics has already been opened because I played one of the cards in Standard. So if you missed my other video, I found this set while I was digging through some totes that I had stored away. So check out this video. It's one of the many From the Vaults that I pull out of the tote. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.